Hey everybody, it's Tim. Welcome back to another episode of Boone County Beekeeper. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about frames. Frames is very important. This is probably a video you've seen a million times, so I guess you're going to see it 1,000,001. Everybody recognizes what I have here probably. I just got a little simple jig that I made. I think this holds 11 frames. I made it about 4 inches tall so I can do deeps or mediums in it. Very handy when you got a lot of frames to put together. It'll save you a little time. Nothing special about it. I'll give you some dimensions. This way here would be 19 3/8. Two boards at 19 3/8. And then this board here would be, looks like 15 3/8. I'll put those dimensions down in the description. But it's fairly simple. Just put your frame sides in here. I always usually start on the bottom, do my bottoms first. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this will hold 11. And we'll speed this up a little bit as we go. Nobody wants to sit there and watch me put a bunch of frames together, but after we put something together, I want to talk to you about foundation, and I want to talk to you about starter strips as well. Very easy to make this little jig. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I thought that's what the hell was 11. So, what I do is I just take my glue and I'll put a little bit of glue right here on the side, right there, just a little bit on the edge. And glue will go everywhere, don't worry about it. If you put it all down in the center, it's not going to do much, so you got to kind of put it on the side here on the edges. Just a little dab of glue is all it takes. I use Titebond. I think it's Titebond 3 or Titebond 2, either one. Both are excellent glues, and I use a lot of glue. So that's basically that. And you just put your, I take a rubber mallet. And like I said, we'll speed this up, and then when we get done here, I'll show you how we do this. Alright, so just make sure when you're putting these bottoms on that your groove goes down. You see me pointing at that. Make sure that your groove goes down towards the top of the frame. And on these bottoms, I just use a little brad nail. And I put like 2 in each one. And that's it. Okay, I just shoot about 1 1/4 inch, 1.5 inch brad, 2 of them in the bottoms. So then after you do that, you just raise up on your jig and hopefully don't go everywhere. There we go. Now, I do a little overkill probably on these. Brads, I believe, would be fine here. Same thing, I put a little glue on here. Right on the corners. I say you're going to have glue get all over everything, but it doesn't hurt anything. This glue really helps to hold this together. Okay. Now, on these top bars, for those you don't know, if you're going to order some, you can get grooved or you can get wedged. I get the wedged, and the reason I do that, I use a lot of starter strips, so you can pop that out, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. Not bad. It's really just a preference kind of thing, whatever you want to do. Both are fine. I bought frames from everybody, and I'm going to tell you, I know I keep saying it, I really like Better Bee. Better Bee seems to have really good quality products. And I love these are the budget frames. You know, frames is probably one of your biggest expenses when you start getting a few hives. And takes a lot of frames for sure. So I always buy the budget, buy them in a box of 100. But I like Better Bee frames real well. They seem to really hold up. Just make sure when you put these on that you get them down in there real good. I like a little rubber mallet. That's what I use. And every now and then you will hit a little too hard and you'll bust a frame, so you have to start all over, but that happens. You watch me long enough, you'll see me make all kinds of mistakes. This little frame jig works good. You just have two boards that'll slide in on the sides to hold the frames together. Works really well. Saves a lot of time. If you're going to put all these together at, one at a time, you're going to be here a while. Alright, now what I do, and like I say, it's probably overkill, but I use a number 4 nail, and yeah, every now and then you'll come out the side or whatever, but I've never had really a frame to come apart. I have mashed my finger a time or two, I will say that. So I'm not going to bore you with sitting here watching me do this, so I'm going to fast forward, and then we'll get done. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about frames for just a little bit. Alright guys, so that was that. I know that I sped that up and fast forwarded it, but I'm going to be honest. I probably put those 11 frames together 12 minutes. I mean, or even if that was that long. I mean, it's fairly quick. This really saves a lot of time. You see these boards, they just slide right out. And then you're ready to go. There's your frames. Now, we'll talk a little bit about foundation when we get to the in here. Let me move this over here out of the way. And please don't pay any attention to my shop because it is a wreck right now. Trust me, it is a wreck. Now what I do here, I buy the black plastic foundation. I like the black for the brood chamber, and I'll tell you why. On this black, when you're holding that frame up, you can see those eggs so much better. Let me grab a white one. Hold on. Alright, so here's the white ones, and I do use these. I use these for my honey production, and I'm not really worried about seeing any eggs. The eggs really show up good in the black. Now, I'm going to say something, and you're going to think that I'm weird, but everybody that knows me knows that I am weird. I am a little bit OCD about brood and putting honey where brood is being. I don't do that. You'll see as we go along this summer, the ones that I leave on the hive for the winter, I get the mediums and I get the black. And the reason I do that is I'll mark all my frames, and that's something I forgot to do there, but I mark all my frames, and I write on top winter feed. And I know that she'll go up and she will lay. I told you that on this last video. She laid that top box full in the spring. I'm just OCD, man. I just don't do it. I have designated honey frames that I use, and I try not to get any brood in it. And that's just me. But now here's how I do this. I just slide this down in this bottom groove right here. And sometimes they can be a pain, but they're not too bad. And then I come over on the side that's not wedged, and I just slide him over, and I pop him in. Look here. There you go. You got a frame. Now, as I do these, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark these. By the time my marker. Here it is. And what I do is I write my initials on it, and I write the years. So I go TB 22. Now, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop right here on those, and we'll get into those in a minute. But I want to do something else. Let's get another one. Let's talk about starter strips. As I said, I buy these, the wedge type. You see right here, they got a little wedge. Take your chisel. Just take the chisel, pop him right off. Look how easy that come off. I have got some from some places, very hard to get off. Clean it up a little bit with your chisel. Very little there. Okay. So then what I do, and I hate to do this, but hold on, I gotta go get my staple gun. Okay, like I said, I make my own starter strips. So down here, we have a little hardware store, and at that hardware store, I'm gonna have to use my regular knife. At that hardware store, they sell wax foundation, no wires, no anything in it, just wax. That's all it is. And what I do is I'll come down, get my knife, and I'll cut me about an inch or so off. I mean, you don't have to be exact. It don't have to be perfectly straight, to be honest with you. Come over here, you slice it one time. There, see it. It's ready to come off of there. Pop that off. There's your starter strip. Now, you can buy them. You're going to pay for them. You can buy this whole sheet. It's the same size as this foundation, $3, and you can get several out of it. So now, what I do, take that, and I just basically lay that in here like this. And you get your groove. Better get my glasses on. Get your groove. Put it back in. And so I've seen people go ahead and they will, I've seen them glue this in, hot glue. You don't have to do that. You really don't. So I would squeeze that tight. You want it in there tight. Get you a good staple gun. I put 4 in there. About 5 to 6 inches apart. Look here. There you go. Now what I'm going to use this for, we'll go ahead and mark it. We're going to use this. We're going to say TB 22. Now, here we go. Vicky's cut comb. My wife loves comb honey. And you know what? I've had a lot of people asking for comb honey. So that's good. I put that in right in the center of my honey super. They will build straight down 9 times out of 10. And I say that and they probably won't do it on film. But they'll build straight down. The prettiest comb that you ever seen. I use 10 frame equipment, but on my honey supers I only put 9 frames in. So there we go. So we got Vicky's cut comb ready. So I'm gonna stop right here and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna bore you. We'll go ahead and I'm gonna put the rest of the foundation in these, and then we'll go over and we'll wax these frames. I'll show you how we do that. All right, guys. So we got all that done. I got all of them fixed up. Now what I do, I buy, you can see right here, I buy the beeswax pellets. I get them off Amazon, fairly cheap. I'm gonna tell you, when you do this, definitely go outside and do it, because it does make quite a mess. Now, A lot of people I've seen use a roller, and actually I have used a roller, but it don't work too good after you use it one time. So I use an old big brush and just kind of get it down there and let it melt. But as you see, I forgot to say, I'll go ahead, after I put this black foundation in, I go ahead and I put my 4 staples across there. I got a guy back here mowing, so it might get a little loud. But waxing, like I say, be sure to get it outside. It's pretty simple. Just get it, and it don't have to be anything like beautiful or whatever. Just rub you some wax on there, and let me tell you, they like that. See, it's starting to dry. Let's get it. Just really want to get it up good up the top, because that's where they start. Just wax it on. There you go. See it drying. Okay, we'll set that to the side. Got a few more to do. Like I said, that wax is not real expensive. I got me an old crock pot. Stole it from my wife. She probably didn't know it till now when she sees this video. She won't watch it. So. But anyway, she'll probably find out now for sure. Somebody will tell her. But it works good. Let's turn him on high until it starts melting, and I turn it down. And you don't have to do the whole frame. Just definitely up around the top is where you really want to get it. But it really makes a big difference, because sometimes they just don't like to draw on this plastic foundation. And I tell you, on your honey supers, when you put if you use an excluder, definitely wax your frames, your honey super frames, and that will help. And I'll tell you what I do while we're talking about that, on the honey supers, when I put my excluder on, and you'll see, we'll show you what I do. I always, when I'm starting out and I put my bees in the box, I go ahead and I put one medium foundation down in that brood box. And the reason I do that is when I put that excluder on there, I go ahead and I bring that up, and I know what you're thinking. Well, he said he didn't like brood. And I don't like to eat honey where brood has been. So, but I do pull one up, and I tell you, when you got brood up there, that will pull them bees up, and they will come up, and then they'll start drawing. That's the trick to it. Sometimes it's hard to get them to come up through that excluder, but if you'll do that, I think it'll work for you. It really will. You see that starting to get dry. It works really good. I don't know that I have enough wax here, but I actually got some in the house that I just got today. So we'll do what we can here, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go ahead and log off. And I know this is not an exciting video for you guys, but remember, I'm kind of geared this toward the people that's never had bees. You know, so I think that should help somebody. I watched a lot of videos on similar to this. It really helped me a lot. So, but anyway, I think I'm tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Today, I left at about 7:30 this morning. I went up and worked on my bee yard. See, it started dry. Worked on my bee yard. I drove a post in the ground, and after that, we hung about 3 more swarm traps, and that worked out good. I actually put 2 in a couple new locations I've really been wanting to try, and I'm gonna hopefully have a video on it maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but anyway, I'm tired. I come home then I mow grass, and I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna take me a shower, and I'm gonna see if Mommy will rub my feet. That ain't gonna happen. She's not gonna rub my feet. So anyway, so this is Tim, the Boone County Beekeeper. You have a good day. God bless you. I hope you and your family are well. I hope you have a good week. See you next time. being here.